Okay, let's see if we get pushed by YouTube at all on this one then. Oh, for God's sake, yes, you can read it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do get pushed a bit more by YouTube then on this one. Pushed at all. Didn't seem to with the other one. So I've not mentioned betting or money or anything on that, so we'll see whether we get pushed a bit on the stream now, as we weren't really getting any traction in the last one. So, but that's the way it goes. Still very new to streaming, so. Yeah, go ahead and implement this, please, and then update the documentation. So we're dual wielding Claude at the moment, building 2 applications. So yeah, one thing that'll be interesting actually is what was the reach of that? I'm guessing that it was no reach whatsoever. I'm guessing that's because we had betting in the name or something. So if you look at this one, I think the reach, yeah, that might just be the stream itself. Yeah, well, I don't know. Still new to all of this, so discovering as we go. Seems to be struggling with bun being installed. Let's create a bun. It is installed. So yeah, if Workflow Pilot works well, we can get it to have some UI. I can release that one as a npm package. Welcome to the stream. We're currently building a couple of little tools. So one of them is a vibe coding workflow manager, I guess, that will just help us prompt correctly and follow a decent workflow. And we can add new workflows to it, for example. And the other one is the AI prediction engine. So we're going to basically pit the various LLMs against each other to see if they can predict sport outcomes. And then we can wire up Polymarket as well, and we can make some real bets and see whether we can make any money from this, or just how much we lose, to be honest. That's currently the plan. So on the right-hand side, we've got just the initial implementation of the project boilerplate. And on the left-hand side, we've got the called vibe flows, I guess. So you can see here we're using the Boris feature workflow, and we are in the implement stage of this. So seems to have worked better than I was hoping, actually, which is good. So we can see how it works and if it makes stuff easier for our vibe coding. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I'm good, thanks, Savio. How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Got any questions? Do reach out and I can answer them. Anything's not clear about what we're doing, again, just let me know and I will explain it all. Okay, so what does it want to do? One's lint, yes please. Okay, one thing we actually do need to add in is pre-commit hooks as well. I'm pretty sure I gave it access to bun command, so I don't know why it needs, maybe I need to restart to give it permission. So yeah, it looks like this stream is getting pushed a lot more than the last one. So I was streaming for an hour or so before, but I had the word betting in the title, and I think that kind of meant that YouTube wouldn't push it at all. So I've removed that and just not going to mention that we're doing that. But that's essentially what we're going to be doing, is utilizing Polymarket and pitting the LLMs against each other to see if they can actually predict the future of sport outcomes. And we're just going to start with football for the moment and see how we can get on there. It's Thursday today, so I believe there's games on Saturday in the Premier League, so we can probably start, hopefully have something then, and see how the LLMs do. And then we can make some kind of YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts to show the kind of what we're doing and the results and stuff, which will be interesting to see. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions in chat, get involved, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so Claude should have implemented the kind of boilerplate of the application, which it looks like it has done. So we've got source folder, various test files. Well, it's just the directories basically. No actual code yet, really. Some migration stuff. Services, the models is going to be empty again. We should just have like a basic server as well. We have GitHub Actions, so I'll maybe sign in. We should have access to deploy to DigitalOcean. Not set it up yet, but that's the plan, to deploy it to DigitalOcean. And we also need to sign up to this Terso site to run the database as well. But this looks like it's done. So what I'm going to get it to do is commit this and push it, and we can just check what's working and what's not. Yeah, because we'll advance the stage of the workflow. So we're now in the feedback stage of the workflow, and I think we're fine. Intention be tested and verified, lint checked, yeah. Any corrections, go ahead and commit. You can go ahead and commit this stage. Let's also push the changes as well, please. Okay, so okay. So yep, do ask any questions, get involved in the chat. So we're currently building the prediction engines, just boilerplate at the moment that Claude's created. We'll push that. It's going to be on GitHub. The repository is already there. Oh, it's crashed again. This is super annoying. What is going on? I'm not even getting any feedback that it's crashing. I don't know whether it's ghosty. I'm assuming it's Claude Go, to be honest. Yeah, please commit and push these changes. I don't know where we were with... Yeah, so it has... Okay, so we move on to the next stage of the workflow. Yeah, workflow advance. And give it access to do these commands, as I'm happy with those. Should be, I guess, just workflow star. Pontificating. Okay, so the Boris flow is complete. Yeah, okay, so one thing we need to add is like update the research document to match the changes that we've just made. Feedback. Yeah, so we'll get it to add a new stage to this. So vibe flows. Please add a new stage to the Boris flow at the end that is about updating the research markdown file to reflect any changes that have been made in the latest implementations. So yeah, so this vibe flows thing here, basically, if you were on a previous stream, you would have seen we spoke about the how I use Claude Code workflow from Boris Tain. If you've not seen that, I did do a video on my channel that was just a kind of clip of that stream. But basically, he came up with this workflow that seemed to work quite well. We tried it out a little bit, and it seemed to work well, but I was quite rubbish at actually following it, and just ended up prompting Claude Code. So I've built this little tool that kind of integrates with Claude Code via the MCP functionality that tells me where we are, what workflow we're using, what stage we're at, and kind of gives me the hints that I need to know what's going on. That way I can hopefully follow the flows correctly, and we can keep following the flow and just kind of improve the way that we actually work in terms of using workflows within Claude. Otherwise, I just end up prompting it in the chat, which does seem to work quite well. But from what I've seen, if you stick to kind of a structured way of doing things, it does work better. Okay, so did I get it to update? Okay, let me just ask you. Please update the research markdown to include any changes that we've made from the latest implementation. Okay, and then we can move on to building the actual features of the prediction engines. Yeah, okay, good. Cool. I think when we get to done, we should also then have the option to loop back and start a new feature. Also want to update the UI on that one as well, so that we always see what stage we're actually at. Oh no, well, I guess we do. We're at the done stage, I guess. Can we update the visual to show what the previous step is and what the next step would be? And so if we loop back, we should also show that as well. just to kind of show exactly where we are in the flow. Yes, you can edit that file. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions about what we're doing here. It's definitely clear though that YouTube did not like the word betting in my stream name. Why that's not working. Go full screen with these just to make things slightly easier. Actually, that's worse, isn't it? Let's go full screen with those. That one we don't need currently. Okay. Okay, so we are done with that one. Cool. So this one is just updating the UI of our workflow features. I will push this as a Git repo so that you can see it and use it if you want. Try it out. Okay, so in terms of that one, I don't think. Yep, please go ahead. Oh, yeah, please go. No, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Which one are we? That's the plan and annotate one. That's the LLM. Okay. Yeah, please go ahead and commit all changes. Oh, oh. The only thing is I can't see. Whether I'm talkie. Please go ahead and commit all changes and push to master. Okay. So we're just going to push those changes now. So it's going to be on GitHub, so you can look at this project. I can share it in the chat. Still not actually built anything yet. This is just the boilerplate starting of it. You can go ahead and look at what we're doing. I'll also get to actually write out a README as well, because that will be useful. Please write out the README explaining what the project is, how to run it, etc. Okay, so that will be running. That's that one. Done. Each stage now has visualization. Awesome. I don't think it does, though. That's the only thing. Let me exit Claude code and see whether we get that. Yeah, we don't seem to actually have it, though. Status. I was expecting to get a bit better. Yeah, I don't think the UI has really actually been updated at all. Oh, it's just deleted. The workflow UI hasn't updated at all. We still only have the icon and then done. I want to see the previous step and the next step with icons as well. And then also whether we can loop or not at current stage. So please update the UI for this. So yeah, any questions or anything that's not clear, please let me know and I can explain. So we're currently building two tools. We're building the LLM kind of competition prediction engine, which is going to be the LLMs making predictions based on some statistics that they get from the sports APIs and the odds of various matches. They're going to build their own prediction engine. It will make a prediction on a game. We will then make a bet on the game based on that prediction. And then based on the results, the LLM can update its own engine and kind of hopefully incrementally improve and see if we can get the LLMs to make any money and pit the LLMs against each other to see which one is winning. Okay, go ahead and commit and push that, please. Okay. So, yes. Okay, so next then. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so the next thing we probably want to do is to start to implement some of these features. So I guess what we can start off with is probably the open router stuff. I think will be the correct thing to start with. I don't actually know where we have that. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll get it to actually spit out some planning of how to break it down into separate small features and then go from there. I don't need to clear context, it's just okay, so we're starting a new workflow here. So we're going to be in the, you should have access to all of this stuff. Why it doesn't? What do I need to add to the settings JSON to give you access to all the WP commands? Yes. Yeah, but we should all, okay, fine, yeah. So we're on a Boris feature. Yeah, should have access to Claude stuff. Okay. Let's break down all of the implementation into separate plan documents, please. So let's break up building what we currently have in the research and the plan document into separate features. That way we can tackle them one by one. Try and start with the very basic MVP style of building things. See what it can come up with here. So rather than me trying to break down all this into separate stages, hopefully we can get Claude to do it for me, and that way we can build the application. So yeah, but one thing I'm not entirely sure about here is where we have open router involved in this flow. I guess it's probably in here. We will see. I mean, it's probably actually going to be in integrations. It's just not added it to infrastructure. Yeah, I mean, it didn't even create the integrations folder. Oh, it did, sorry, yeah, it didn't create router one. Okay. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I don't think other than, so it's got it as a feature, it just doesn't have it in the structure of the directory, but that's fine, it probably work it out. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Got any questions, let me know. I'm happy to explain everything that I can. Currently building two little tools. The first one is something called vibe flows. Basically allows you to know exactly where you are in the stage of a kind of vibe coding workflow, and then move to the next stage and that kind of thing, to hopefully keep you a bit more structured. It seems to be working quite well so far. And then the other thing is the prediction engine for the sports betting or sports predictions on Polymarket that will be doing, basically pitting the LLMs against each other to see if they can actually build their own prediction engine that can win, basically. That's the plan anyway. So you can currently see we're in the research phase here. The next stage is going to be the planning phase. So we've done all three things we need to do in the research phase, apparently. So 12 features in the order. So looks like it's going to create the domain types and contracts, the database schema repositories, the Polymarket integration, the sports data integration, the market fixture matching, so bridge Polymarket to sports fixtures, yeah. The prediction engine framework, the first competition baseline, yeah. The betting itself, settlement scoring, pipeline orchestration, the LLM competitor generation, and then the iteration loop. Okay, so that seems to be a reasonably sensible plan. Features to get features 1.7 to a point where we can run a prediction against real data. Feature 8 adds real betting. Features 10 and 11 automate and add the LLM competition layer. Ready to advance the plan stage whenever you are ready. Yeah, so let's go ahead and create the plan. So what Claude should now do is, in our repository, we should come up with a new feature and a new planning document for that feature. We can then review it, add any comments to it, get it to review it, kind of iterate on the plan itself, and then get Claude to implement that plan. Why does it need? No, that's wrong at all. Yeah, API Sports is what we're using. You have no need for API Basketball. We're only using API Sports. I don't know why it has this obsession with, like, it's not mentioned anywhere. It's like, so. No. Again, this is what really annoys me when it does multiple agents. Like, well, the agents just go off the rails. I don't want it to do that, which is quite frustrating. So what? Control O to expand. Yeah, like why it's doing that is what I don't know. Yeah, you can look at Polymarket. I'm fine with that. We are only doing football to start. Do not do any other sports. update the research file to make this clear. Why do you need medium? Just look at the Polymarket API documentation and the SDK. There's no need to look at anything else. Yeah, it just kind of goes off the rails a little bit when you're doing kind of external research. So it's annoying because like we've burnt 29,000 tokens there on stuff that I've got literally zero use for. So I don't know how you stop it. It's like if I control C, like, are we actually going to stop? Okay, so right. Okay, so now it's doing that, okay. Yes, I mean, it just wrote random crap about starting with MBA and stuff. Like, why it's doing that? Just absolutely bonkers. Okay, so I seem to have got it on track now. So yeah, when it spawns multiple agents, that seems to be, from my experience, where it really messes up. I don't know when anyone else has had that kind of happen to themselves, but not good at all. Okay, yeah, so in terms of vibe flows, we seem to be getting somewhere with it now. You get this nice kind of clean-ish flow, which is good. Seems to be working reasonably well. Quite happy with that, actually. Let me create a repo and actually push it so other people can look at it and potentially use it if they want to. Repositories. Let's call it vibe coding flow. That's fine. I don't think I have a Git repo for that one. Nope. Okay. We want a Git ignore, don't we? Why it's not got one? Vibe flows. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that one is now committed a little bit. So why does it need to go look at this article? I don't quite understand. Like, I mean, it can, but I don't see why it needs to. Just look at the Polymarket documentation. Unless that article's linked from it, maybe it is, but it seems odd. Yeah, so this is the Vibe Coding Workflows repository. Do I have any prior dev experience? Yeah, I've been a software engineer for around 10 years. So I do know what I'm doing. But the whole point of these kind of streams and vibe coding is that I'm not touching any of the code, really. I'm just vibe coding. I am looking over the architecture and the decisions that it's kind of making, but I am not writing any of the code. I think in a couple of the projects I have had to, well, when we were using Gemini and anti-gravity, I have had to go and look at some of the code because it was getting stuck and kind of tell it what to do and help it out. But generally, Claude code, I think maybe 1 or 2 times I've had to look at stuff, but generally I haven't really had to. It's been pretty good so far. So yeah. Cool. So this is working through the implementation, currently in the planning phase. So yeah, this is working quite well, this workflow manager actually. I think it's one of the things that, like, you know, everyone builds. I've seen so many posts on Reddit about people building like Kanban tools for Claude and all that kind of stuff, which perhaps works well, but maybe is also probably a bit overkill in my view. But we'll see. Again, still trying to work out what the best flows for vibe coding is, but seems to be doing reasonably well at the moment. Although it's taking a long time to come up with the feature plan for feature 1, which will be down here, I believe. Yeah, so domain types and contracts. But to be fair, that's a really important thing to get right. So again, we've got our domain models. So we've got like the market, the event, the sport, fixture, prediction, the bet itself, the result, competitor, performance log. And then we have things like statistics and prediction outcomes. So the statistics will be like all the player statistics, the team statistics and stuff that we get from the API, sports API. And that will help, well, that will be available to the LLM. Whether it wants to utilize it or not in its prediction engine is entirely up to it. So, cool, domain types. So yeah, now I've got a new plan here, lovely jubbly, which is good. So yeah, again, like I don't want to go into too much depth in all of these because I kind of want to see what Claude can do. So obviously, if I was doing this for kind of myself, or if I was working a job and stuff, I'd be looking at all this stuff a lot more detail and trying to work out exactly what it's done, what the plan actually is. But a big part of this is just trying to work out how close we can get to vibe coding, things that actually work and do well, basically. We shall see. Okay, so it's come up with a pretty decent plan by the looks of it. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and go to the annotate. Well, we'll go to the annotate stage, and in this stage, we basically, as we read through the plan, we add notes and stuff. But I don't think there's anything that I particularly want to do here. As I don't want to go through these too much. So just kind of want to let it do its thing. Yeah, so WP next. Let's just go to the to-do list phase for this. Basically what it will do in this phase is come up with a to-do list for this particular plan. It will write the to-do list down here, and then we'll move on to the implementation stage where it will start to implement it, which is useful. So yeah, so then we can basically see what it's doing in the to-do list and see how we're getting on. So again, another thing I will add to this in the future, I guess, will be maybe we can add like a Discord bot so we can see what the bets are. It can say when it's made a bet, we get the results, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe we can get a Discord going with all of this kind of stuff, if that's of interest to people. As again, we will probably start doing some YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts and all this kind of content. Again, one of the tools I want to build is around that kind of workflow. So I want to one for the future. Okay, so it's come up with the to-do list. Again, I'm basically just going to accept what it said, see how far we can get with this. So like, yeah, I mean, I've not looked at any of the documentation, so I'm kind of assuming that what it's building in terms of the domain models makes sense. Same with the contracts for the stats and all that kind of stuff. I'm just basically going with what it's recommending. So we should start to implement stuff. But yeah, we've already built the Texty Talkie app, or Talkie Texty, which we built in the first streams, which is what I use to prompt, basically. I just speak and then it outputs the text into the terminal. Again, that is available on GitHub. Go and have a look at it if you're interested. And all the earlier streams on the channel are around building that. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you've got any questions about what I'm doing or vibe coding or just anything, basically, feel free to ask. I can't guarantee that I'll answer it, but I'll do my best. Okay, so this is now implementing all of the first stage, which is good. So we'll see how it gets on. So by the end of this stage, we should basically have the domain models done, the contracts with the external APIs, and some tests for that. There's not much I can validate really unless I go and look at all the documentation and stuff for Polymarket, for the API stats and stuff, which I don't really want to go and do, but we'll see how far Claude can get. So we're going to be using this website here, API Sports. They have like I think it's $20 a month, but I think there is a free version from what I remember. Yeah, so we get 100 requests free a day. So we can use that. And it's got quite a lot of data from what I remember when I looked at it. So if we look at football, for example, which is what we're starting with, you've got teams, you've got standings, fixtures, injuries, you've even got predictions, I guess. Predictions are made using several algorithms. So we can look and see if we can beat their prediction algorithm. It's a bit interesting they've got that, but coaches, players, so you can get player statistics, all this kind of stuff. So there's tons of data that it's even got odds as well. Interesting. So they can use that pre-match. So the LLMs can use all this data and make a prediction engine, and then we can predict results through the LLMs and see where we get. We can also use this predictions here. I didn't realize I even had it, but we can use that as a kind of comparison as well to see how we compare against their own prediction engine. So yeah, predictions are made using several algorithms, poison distribution, comparison team stats, last match players get. Bookmaker odds are not used to make these predictions. Also provide some comparative statistics between teams. Yeah, so that will be interesting to see how we get on. Okay, so apparently it's implemented all of the contracts and the domain models, which is good. Looks to be fairly correct, I guess. So can move on to the next stage then. So no feedback from me on this one. Again, I'm not really doing much feedback and annotation stuff because it's not the point of the streams. All tests are passing. Nope, go ahead, commit and push, please. Yeah, the MCP and this kind of workflow pilot that I built seems to be working quite well. It's definitely more structured than just prompting Claude, and seems to be working pretty well. Okay. So on to the next stage then, I guess. This should be fairly straightforward because it's already planned out in the research document. Where are we in documents? Research. So we should be able to now plan feature 2. Feature 1. Yeah. So yeah, currently in the research stage. So at this point, it'll just be basically read the research markdown file and understand what's going on, and then go ahead and implement it. So yeah, I'm going to have to sign up for the database as well. Also going to have to work out the deployment on DigitalOcean. I think it recommended this, right? Terso, so you probably log in via GitHub. Let me do it on Brave. I'm actually logged in. Yeah, any questions or anything, do get involved in the chat. Happy to answer them. So how is the CI for our prediction competition? And actually on the vibe flows, we should get it to write some tests and everything. Please research this repository, understand what it's doing and how it's all working, and then write some tests, please. Ooh, we've already used 93% of our session limit. That's gone quite quickly, actually. So I did read that actually using MCP does use way more tokens. And this is the first time that I've seen that in such a short time, actually. So that kind of makes sense, which is a bit annoying, really. I am on the, I think it's the like $90 plan, I think. So the fact that I've kind of hit, or I'm about to hit, the session usage is not great at all, really. So yeah, we're failing CI. To be fair, it just failed on the bun install, so not necessarily anything that is particularly wrong. Yeah, do you guys use MCP when you're vibe coding, or do you just prompt Claude? Always keen to hear how other people are using these tools. As I say, I'm still new to vibe coding, just trying to see what works well and what doesn't. So yeah, I mean, so far the fact that we're basically at the session limit, and I've honestly not done that much compared to the other days, is pretty frustrating, really. But I guess that's just because we're using MCP, and yeah, as I said, that seems to use a lot more tokens and stuff because each time it injects a lot more context into the prompting, which obviously is what burns through your tokens and your session usage. Okay, so it should have come up with a plan. Database schemas, indeed it has. Yeah. So again, I'm not going to go into the actual schemas themselves. I'm going to assume that what Claude wants to do is correct for this. Again, it's probably made some bad choices, but we will see when we actually start to come to using the application, why it's got logos and stuff, what it actually ends up being like, and whether we have to go and debug loads of stuff or not. Yeah, we're probably going to have to end the stream in a bit because I think we're going to hit the limit of our session with Claude, which is a bit of a shame. But we've definitely seen that using MCP burns through our session usage, which really does suck, as it seems to be a nice workflow. So we'll see how far we get before it complains my session is over. So what time is it? 6 o'clock where I am at the moment, and it said it will be refreshed at 8 p.m. So maybe I can go get some dinner and then come back and stream again. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like this product, well, it's my product, but this tool, prediction engine, pitting the LLMs against each other. Like if I think about if I was building it myself, I would probably estimate 3 weeks maybe of kind of work to get it to the point that I'd be happy with it. So if we can get somewhere in a couple of days, that would be really awesome with Claude Code. Again, one of the problems with vibe coding stuff is that obviously if something does go wrong, I've got no idea what the code is actually doing, and it would take me a long time to look through the code and work out what is happening. And given we're going to be putting some real money on this, it's going to be interesting to see what the quality of the code is like, and how reliable we actually are. Yep, you can do that, it's fine. So yeah, but after, yeah, I mean, I do like the workflow pilot, but if the MCP is going to burn through our session usage, then it's just not viable, because I've not actually done that much this session, really, I wouldn't say. Also doesn't help that it just kind of goes off on random tangents in an agent, looking at MBA stuff that is totally unrelated to what I've asked it to do. Well, not unrelated, but totally not in the remit of what I've asked it to do. So you do end up burning session usage on stuff that you don't want it to do, which is a shame. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll be streaming a lot, building lots of tools and interesting projects. And of course, as always, get involved in the chat, say hello, ask any questions, always happy to answer. And we'll be trying to make some more content on like TikTok and all that kind of stuff to hopefully build an audience and get more people involved in the streams and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the more audience we have, the more people we have to use and purchase products and test our products, all that kind of stuff. And I'll also come up with ideas for what we would like to build on stream. I would very much like to get the audience and the community involved as well. So yeah, I think we're going to run out of context fairly soon. Not context, but session usage, I think. So yeah, 96%, 97%. Ooh. Okay, so now apparently it's done all the feature stuff. Well, it's interesting because we haven't even set up a database yet. So I don't know whether it's doing it all locally and stuff. Like I don't think Docker is actually running. Yeah, so it's obviously not using Docker and stuff. So it's not got any integration tests, I would not imagine. Yeah, it's got no integration tests. In the Docker file, we are, I mean, that's the deployment Docker file, I guess. So that's not great. I mean, it's got unit tests for the database, which, yeah, is always a bit dodgy, really. We are going to run out of session usage, so let's get it to update the plan and the to-do list to actually add some integration tests for the database stuff. Let's please update the plan to add integration tests for the database. So we need to spin up the Docker container with the database. We need to run migrations up and down, and we need to test that the tables work as we expected, so inserting, etc. So yeah, I mean, if I'd read through the plans, I would have seen that it's not got those kind of tests and stuff, because so what is it? Like, creates the bet repository, creates a sample bet, it finds by ID, which is this, so it gets it from the database and gets it back, but like we're not actually connected to anything, so I don't know whether it's mocking stuff out there or not. Or maybe Drizzle does something there. Oh, okay, so we're using an in-memory database, no Docker needed, and Drizzle only supports forward migrations. Okay, so I actually think, okay, if we're using a, oh, sorry, yeah, my bad. Okay, if we're using a in-memory database like that, then I probably don't think we need integration tests. What are your thoughts? Do we need integration tests for the database, or is the in-memory database okay? Yeah, the other thing is, like, when you use in-memory database stuff, like, you are kind of like, you're assuming it's all correct, that the in-memory implementation is the same. Same thing like engine, just user, okay. And if it's replication on top. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's move to the next workflow phase, please. So yeah, I think we're going to hit the session limit now, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's also add a GitHub Actions to run the tests on push. Yeah, you can go ahead and commit and push. So yeah, our talky texty app's working very well so far. quite impressed with it. Again, we built that on the streams the other day. Hello, native boys. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. So yeah, we built Texty Talkie or Talkie Texty the other day. It is available on GitHub if you want to give it a go. It's basically a speech to text application. And so when you see me doing the talking into the terminal here, so yeah, this is the Texty Talkie. You get like a nice little UI and it allows you to kind of talk and then it will output the text. So it makes prompting nice and easy. And yeah, we built this on stream. Got your history, got a few nice little features. Give it a go. I've not built it on Linux or Windows yet, but if someone wants to try it out and use it, that'd be awesome. Let me know. Give me any feedback. Okay, so we have committed to the prediction engine. And the tests are passing, apparently. Let's actually check that we are running tests. Yep, so we are running them, which is good. Awesome. So yeah, things we need to do on this obviously is work out the deployment, wire up the database, and all that kind of stuff, and obviously start to build out more of the features. We've not hit the session limit yet, so I guess we can keep going. Let me just see. Yeah, so just got some Claude stuff there, right. Yep, so we can mark that as done. And so this WP tool I'm using is another tool that we've built. I didn't build it on stream because it was just a quick one that I was playing around with the other day. Oh, used 99%, so we're going to reset very soon. So we've done those features. So let's get to move on to the next feature. We might be able to get the plan document going. Okay, let's move on to the next feature, please. And hopefully what it will do is actually use the Boris feature workflow. Yep, so it started its own Boris feature workflow in the research phase. We're going to hit the session limit here, but it's nice to know that the MCP flow works. It's just burning through the session usage though, which is rather annoying. So yeah, is anyone else run into that kind of thing? Let me know, be curious to know. I guess I can use the API credits or I can even upgrade, but already on the like £100 a month Claude plan, so it is a lot. And to be honest, this is the first time with that package that we've run into the session issue. And from what I've read, it's because using MCP just burns through your tokens a lot quicker than just kind of prompting. So if that's the case, then we'll have to rethink about how we use Claude, because we can't be running out of session usage after, what, I think like 2 and a bit hours. That's just a definite no-go. We'd have to work out a better way to do it. So I have bought some OpenRouter credit, so maybe we can use open code and use a different agent, or maybe we can just go credit based and accept it's going to cost us a lot more, but that's one option. Yeah, we also discovered that if you have the word betting in your stream title, then YouTube will not promote it at all. So one to know for the future for my streams. Yeah, so I did start streaming earlier with the word betting in the stream title and basically got no activity on the stream. Didn't seem to be getting pushed by YouTube, so started a new stream, removed the title betting from the title, and it seemed to go forward a bit and get a bit more promotion, which is good to know. So yeah, it looks like we have actually a GitHub star on Talkie Texty, which is cool. We also have an open dashboard as well, so all of this stuff is going to be publicly shared. I've got a new website as well. What is it? timknightmedia.com. It's all pretty slow because it's on like the Vercel free package, but we'll fix that at some point. So we're building a public, which reminds me, we need to add the 2 new things we're building, 2 new projects. So this will be Vibe Flows, and that's a software project. Current status is active, that is on GitHub, which is this one. And let me just remove the link. How do you do that with this? Edit, remove link. And then we also need to add LLM prediction competition. We'll come up with a better name. If anyone's got any ideas, let me know for that one. And that one is here. Let me get rid of that link. Okay, cool. So we should add those to the dashboard and they should appear somewhere in here. Again, it's all very slow at the moment. We need to fix that. Okay, so they're there now. Keeping track of those. So Claude is still doing a little researching on the next feature. Hey, hello designer, please boss. Yeah, sure. Let me know if you want to chuck your project in the chat. We can have a look at it. More than happy to give an opinion on it. Can't say it's going to be a good opinion or not, but happy to have a look. And yeah, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. Currently at 81 subscribers. So please do subscribe. So yeah, what is your project then? Drop it in the chat and we'll have a look. So I'm using extra usage apparently. Claude's given me some free usage, which is nice of it. Yep, so it looks like it's going to do the integration only, sorry, the read-only integration of Polymarket. So should basically just integrate the API. Also, oh, thank you for subscribing. I don't have any wallets or anything set up yet. I've not got any API keys or anything like that for Polymarket. So we'll probably need to do that. I'll probably do that off stream, obviously, just because I don't want to leak any tokens or anything or keys. Using a lot of tokens on this kind of stuff. But yeah, I need to set up the APIs. I need to set up the database as well. Again, I'll do that off stream so that I don't leak any credentials. We're going to be using this hosted database called Terso. Never used it before, but it's a hosted SQLite and they've got a free version, I think. So yeah, 5 gig of storage, which we will never get near. I doubt we'll ever get near 500 million or 10 million rows written. So that'd be nice to use that free version. And if we do have to go paid, it's only $6 a month. So it's not too bad at all, really. We'll probably host it on DigitalOcean as well. Hello, QWERTY, welcome. So 20-second app. Is this it? sorry, I'm in Japan at the moment, so that's why it's all in Japanese. I don't actually speak Japanese. So founders and regular Joes to make HQ websites and hosting with only a couple of clicks. Oh, is it okay? Is it like this? Hopefully, this is not malware. Okay, so is this the right website then, designer? Let me know if that's the correct site. Cool, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the screen. So yeah, in terms of yeah, let me know if this is the right website. Otherwise, we'll be reviewing someone else's. So 20-second apps. Make a site from my coffee shop. Site.app in 20 seconds. So yeah, but I guess one thing I'd say is like hijacking the cursor is always a bad thing. Like just leave it as a cursor. It's not it's not the 90s where you know everyone has dodgy cursors. Just leave it as is. But yeah, the website looks okay. Like I don't know why my cursor's going. I guess it's not entirely clear what it does from like the initial landing page. This might be a bit quick, the text there. So let me view apps, I guess. So various other sites and stuff that people have made. So I guess it's just basically an interface to a coding engine, right? So you can start building a website for free, pro server, dev coaching, apps that people have built. I don't know if this is you, Will, but it's quite cool to have you pointing and stuff. But yeah, I'd say definitely don't hijack the cursor because that is super annoying. Okay, yeah. So yeah, first thing I'd say is don't hijack the cursor. Like just stick with normal UX for people because it is a bit frustrating. So yeah, in terms of what people have built, turn any text into a short watchable story. I guess this is just some website that someone's built, so who knows what it is. Oh, seems to be going a bit dodgy. Yeah, I think the cursor thing is causing so many issues for me. So I'll definitely get rid of that. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the website, it looks pretty cool. Like, I think this is like one of the kind of products that a lot of people are starting to build is the kind of one-click or one-prompt websites and stuff. I assume you're using like Claude behind the scenes or some other LLM to do this kind of thing. Let me know kind of how you're doing it. Be interested here. Can I create a website for free then? Sure. Input needed. Okay, so I'll type my idea. Okay, yeah, so again, that's not entirely clear that I can type there. So I would say like make the input an actually like obvious input so that it's just a text input, and then you can have the kind of animating text up here as a separate thing rather than having it all in one. Often with these things, like you think they're really cool when you're building them, and they are kind of cool, but the UX for the user ends up being pretty awful. And again, like my cursor is now moving, but so yeah, it's yeah. So let me see if we can make a website for the prediction engine then. Create me a website for an LLM betting prediction competition. See what we get, shall we? Oh, I mean, did it go full screen? Yeah, again, don't hijack people's stuff like that. Basically, if it wasn't on stream, I would instantly close the website and never visit again if it did stuff like that. So we'll see what it's doing in a second. So, okay, yeah. So Claude's done my research now. All items are checked. Here's a summary of what I found. Polymer integration. All findings written, ready to plan. Yep. Let's go to the next phase, please, Claude. was in Chrome, wasn't it? Yeah, again, like it's with all these things, like yeah, you think they're cool when you get it working and you spend a lot of time on it, but then it ends up being a pain because it's like it's hurting the UX of the user. I'm the same. I did stuff when I was early in my career, stuff like that I thought was cool, that ended up being a bit annoying for the user. So yeah, what do other people think of designer website then? No, it's not an arbitrage bot. So basically, what we're building with the prediction engine is, stream health has gone down. Maybe you're mining crypto on the website as well. So the idea behind the application is that we get the various LLMs to build their own prediction engine. So we'll give it a like structure of statistics, the particular game, etc., and it will write its own prediction engine, and then we will get it to do a prediction, place a bet on that prediction, and then they will compete against each other. So I guess the idea is basically, can an LLM write a prediction model that makes money, I guess, and then how do they compare against each other? So it's not arbitrage, it's more like I guess traditional betting. Like it's kind of the same as like if me or you were to sit down and analyze the statistics of a game or a player or something like that, and then try and make a bet based on what we've analyzed. How would that perform? Basically, that's the idea. How far we'll get, I don't know. So yeah, so let's have a look. Predict the unpredictable. So yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting. Like it's done a reasonable job. I mean, I guess I've got a website. Again, my cursor's hijacked. It's a pet hate of mine. Like the thing with all of these kind of auto website builder stuff things is it's never going to be quite what I want. So I mean, I guess I'm not really the target audience for this kind of product because I would just build it myself. I guess it's kind of bot style business that can create their own website in one kind of go. So, but yeah, I mean, it's done a reasonable, okay. Again, like the cursor thing is driving me insane. I'm gonna have to get rid of it. But yeah, it's a cool product. So, well, can you bet on who is the best? Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do. I mean, if we can get enough people on the streams, one thing we can do is have the streams make a bet. So people on the stream can put their own bets in, and then yeah, maybe they can bet on which LLM they think is going to be the better LLM. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So if you can do live editing, that's definitely an interesting way of doing it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is quite a cool product. So let me go back to it. I need to go back this way. Profit.ai. So make the cursor normal. Do not hack it or override the system cursor. What else shall we change? Change the color scheme to be blue. I'll say it's very slow in terms of typing in and stuff. I think that's because there's so much going on with the UI and stuff. And yeah, again, the fact that it's hijacked my full screen is very frustrating. But yeah, if anyone else has got any products or stuff they want to me to have a look at, let me know. Salty bets with LLMs is cool as fuck. Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's certainly an interesting. Well, I hope it's an interesting idea, and I hope people find it interesting. Again, one of the reasons I'm building this kind of thing early on in my stream in career, I guess, like we're only on stream like 6 or something, is we're trying to build an audience. So trying to build kind of content that will appeal to people and get people involved. I do need to start making kind of YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts and longer form videos and stuff rather than just streaming to try and build an audience. And so some of the tooling I will be building probably on stream as well will be helping me build that kind of content as well. So thinking of building kind of a TikTok script generator. So taking kind of live news from like Hacker News and all the kind of tech AI focused websites, and then finding interesting stories, writing a script for me. I can then go film it, deploy it to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and stuff, and try and get people interested in the content, and then hopefully they'll join the channel, watch the streams, and then maybe eventually buy products that we build on stream. So that's the current plan. If you're interested in it, subscribe and you follow along. Hello, Dark Hole. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your name, but Abhay Dark Hole. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to subscribe. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. So we're currently building the prediction engine for the competition between LLMs. So they will be writing their own prediction engines and competing against each other. Currently doing the polymarket integration with Claude, seeing how that's going. And we also reviewed a viewer's products themselves they built called 20sec.app, which is cool. Builds your website in 20 seconds. And it's done well. It's not hijacked my cursor. It's turned it to be blue. So yeah, I mean, it's quite cool at that. What's the LLM you're using behind the scenes to build this then? Will be interested to know. So you sold 10K in dev coaching last week. Okay, so you're basically okay, so interesting. So is this kind of the main driver of your revenue then? So is the idea that you get them to build a website on your app and then you sell coaching to help them improve it, or how to become developers, or like just fix the website? So I'd be interested to see what your kind of business model with that kind of stuff is actually. But yeah, certainly the one-click generators are very common nowadays, I think. But yeah, my advice is don't hijack the UI and stuff. Put a separate text bar here so that I know it's obvious that I need to type. Like, I think, what is it, like Lovable or something? Isn't this one that does something similar? Like, yeah, like it's super obvious that I need to type here. You know, like it's just a cleaner website. And you'll see that all websites for products and stuff are along the cleaner minimal side of things, rather than your one, which I can understand why you've done a lot of the stuff, but I would say make it simple, follow the standard UX practices of stuff, and you'll get further. Yeah, can't give away all your secrets. That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, if you've only been live a week, then if you sold $10,000 worth of dev coaching, that's great. Great work. I've sold 0 things, basically. Not that I have anything to sell at the moment, but yeah. So bum, 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 bum. Hello. So yeah, one thing we discovered again is like if you have the word betting in your stream title, then you will not get pushed by YouTube at all. So it's one for the future. Okay, so apparently it's implemented the polymarket stuff. We can go ahead and move on to the next stage. If all tests pass, I'm happy. We're not looking at any of the code. I'm just going to turn the heating off a second. Whoa. Any corrections? Go ahead and push. I think we can go ahead. You can go ahead and push, thank you. Okay. You're welcome, designer. And if you want to throw me some cash from your $10,000 for the feedback consultancy, I'll definitely won't say no. At the very least, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Cool. So once it's pushed that, where are we? Prediction competition. We should hopefully get all the tests passing, which we do, which is good. I mean, I've not actually run any of this code, so it may be writing absolute rubbish, but we just assume that it's not, and we assume that it's building the correct stuff. From the plans and stuff that we've seen, it seems to be on the correct path. So we'll see what it comes up with. So yeah, building basically an application to pit LLMs against each other in a betting competition. So we're basically going to build out a structure where we can prompt an LLM. So we can prompt Claude, we can prompt Gemini and the other models to write some codes to predict the outcome of a sporting event. We'll give it access to various statistics and that kind of thing, and allow it to decide what it wants to do in its own prediction engine, how it wants to determine who the winner is going to be. And then we're going to place some bets on Polymarket. I'll load up the LLMs with some money, and then they can look at the results of the bets they've placed and improve their engines. And we'll keep track of all of this. We'll probably make a Discord as well so that we can keep track and you can see when it's placed bets and that kind of thing. And we'll see whether any of the LLMs can predict anything correctly, whether we can make any money. I think ultimately it'll probably be who loses the least amount of money, but we will see. Yep, let's start on the next feature, please. Okay, so I'll probably wrap the stream up at around 7 p.m. my time, so about 20 minutes left, I think. Just because we're on the usage limit, I think we're going to hit the session limit any second now. But we will see. I also need to go grab some food as well at some point. So yeah, if you're new to the stream, don't forget to subscribe, get involved in the chat. So we did review the designer Placebo's application that he's built, 20-second app. He sold $10,000 worth of dev coaching already, apparently. So pretty cool. Why does it want to go to API football when that is not what we're using? I thought we're using API sports. What was it? Yeah, API sports. I mean, I'm sure they're probably the same website, but I mean, it does look to be the same. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Yes, it can go to apifootball.com. So yeah, any questions? Anything that's not clear, let me know. So yeah, a couple of things we also need to do at some point as well is on the kind of open dashboard that we've got as well, where we're sharing all the progress, is share the tools that we're using. So we built VibeFlow as well, which seems to be working quite well. So we should be sharing that and giving people access to it. I also need to get all the costs and stuff involved. Oh, why the hell would it need to go to educative? What? Endpoint. Okay, let me see if I can just give it access to the documentation rather than. What documentation do you need access to? There's no need to go to educative. Let me know what docs you need on the API and I can show you them. So obviously it can't scrape the documentation correctly. Have they not got a SDK or anything? I'll kind of be surprised if they didn't. Bindings. Sample scripts, changelog, CDN, widgets. Okay, so it needs fixtures. Okay, so I wonder whether we can. The website uses Redocly. Is there anything we can do to help you get access to it? I wonder whether. Does this one use the same thing? Yeah, it does use that. Yeah, you can try that. I'm surprised that they don't have. Maybe I need to sign up to it. Yeah, probably need to sign up to it first. Okay, let me just sign up to it. Let me just hide the screen. It's making me do a capture. Oh, stop having buses. Oh, so annoying, Google captures. Oh, bloody hell. Right. I really hate the Google capture where you have to click pictures and then it fades out because it takes bloody ages and it's always adding in new ones with what you're meant to click. Gotta go to the email now. Football. How do I get an API key? my access. Let me create .env file. Okay, in the .env file, we now have access to the API v3 football via the API key. So I think you can use that to get the v3 documentation that you want in terms of the spec. Okay, let me come back to the full screen now. Awesome. So yeah, I've given it access to an API key, which is just leaked, which is awesome. So I'll have to change that. Classic AI, just leaking it on stream. I've not got any money in there or anything, so it's not a problem. I'll have to reset it. Reset it off stream. But yeah, this is one of the problems with streaming and AI, is it just always blurts out stuff like that. Yes, I've told you can have access to it about 1 million times. So yeah, not got any money in there, so it's not a problem that it's leaked, really, just a bit annoying. So yeah, I think that's how George Hotz got his crypto coin leaked. Similar sort of thing. So what it's doing is making a curl request to it, the status endpoint. I don't know why it's looking at status. It's then using some JSON tool stuff. So yeah, we're getting closer. We are getting closer to 100 subscribers, I think. I don't know how many we're at. Let's have a look. Probably need to update the cron job. 85, so we are making progress. Only 15 to go before we get there. Awesome. Cool, so now it's found the API stuff, which is good. I will have to delete that API key, replace it before we do anything else, I guess. Not got any money or anything on there, so if you do use it, you'll just be using my free requests for the day, so it's a bit pointless. Okay, so we're on to the planning. Cool, so to kick off the planning, I'll go just sort that API key out. Okay, so I've changed the API key. Hopefully Claude doesn't leak it again on stream. I guess we'll see whether it does or not. So yeah, we had a look at Designer Placebo's product. If anyone else has built anything that they'd like me to have a look at on stream, give any input to, more than happy to do that. It was very interesting to see his application and hear that he's got $10,000 of dev coaching already booked, which is amazing. Maybe I can create a vibe coaching course, become a vibe coding coach. That would be a very easy job, I think. Just ask Claude every question that you need to know. So yeah, currently what we're doing now is Claude is planning the next feature. This here is my vibe flow tool that I built the other day. Just tells me where we are using the Boris feature flow from the article we read the other day, which seems to be working pretty well. So it's come up with a plan. If we go ahead and look at the documents, features, sports data, it's come up with a plan here to go ahead and get the fixtures, the standings, the head-to-heads. Yeah, we're currently only going to get the game stats, I think. Maybe this is just to get the fixtures and statistics as well. It's not player specific statistics by the looks of it, but we can get it to do that in the future. But I think for now it's just the game stuff, which is fine. Go ahead and get it to move on to the... We'll skip the annotate phase as we always do at the moment because we're not really looking through and making many changes. I think for the moment, yeah, the fixtures, standings and stuff is fine. We can make an enhancement to a future feature to add in like player statistics and all that kind of stuff. In fact, let's add a to-do, shall we? Just so we have all that. It's not an ND, it's an MD. Add player stats to the stats API calls, so the LLM has access to them. As I'm sure the LLMs will probably want access to player statistics to make some determination and prediction as to who's going to win the game. Awesome. So yeah, as always, any questions, let me know. Happy to answer stuff. So yeah, just wiring up the sports API now. It's only doing football at the moment, so we don't need to worry too much about other stuff. So interestingly, each sport is its own API on this website, which is, I guess makes kind of sense. So interesting, there's lots of sports there. So I don't know exactly what sports are on Polymarket. Probably everything, actually. Sports. You've got NBA. I don't know what that is. There's that college basketball. You've got that hockey, soccer, esports. So yeah, maybe we can expand this to other sports if we get any success, or it's interesting enough on stream for people to want to expand it. Hopefully we can make some money from it, but not holding my breath on that one. Okay, so it's just implementing the API features. Looks like it's got some failing tests with Polymarket, which is interesting because it shouldn't be touching Polymarket at the moment, but we'll leave it to do what it wants to do. Again, I don't know why we care about venue name per se, but that's what it's built. So again, we're not actually implementing any of the code ourselves here. We're just entirely vibe coding. I've not looked at any of the code yet in this application, really. So we're seeing how far we can get with Claude code and just vibe coding. If it starts to be successful, maybe we have to dive into a bit of the code and improve a few things. But so far, Claude is doing a reasonable job. Okay, so apparently all tests are passing, whether they are good tests or not, whether we've actually got any of the functionality that we want, we do not know, but we shall push ahead and see where we can get to. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and advance. So yeah, I guess we need to also work out how we can actually use the application. we don't have any UI or anything yet. Currently, it's just a server with nothing, basically. A lot of the code that it's been building currently is just back-end logic stuff. So if we look at the research, we are on what? So we've done that one, feature 4 apparently. So then we'll be on market, fixture making, prediction engine framework, the first competitors, the betting, the settlement scoring, pipeline orchestration, competition generation, iteration loop. So we need to look at all of that stuff. But I think we'll probably go ahead and wrap up the stream for today, as we probably hit the session limit. We are over on Claude. Next stream, we'll try and get something that we can play around with in terms of making predictions and seeing whether we can get the LLM to write its own prediction engine. And we'll probably do a bit of work on whether we want to keep using MCP and using our vibe flow feature. As we've seen, it kind of burnt through my credit for the day, so we'll see how that goes. But maybe I'll come back and jump on stream later today, as it should reset, but we will see. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, get involved in the chat, and thanks.